Hi, I'm Ross McWilliam. As you may be aware, April is National Anxiety Awareness Month. And anxiety, and sometimes we call that stress, is something that affects many people. Sometimes it may sound strange to say this, but in a good way. That stress and anxiety help us in performance. But many people associate stress and anxiety with that negative side of life, where we feel compromised, we can't produce anywhere near our best performances, and we struggle to get through each day. Now, I'm going to give you some tips today, not too long, from somebody who has talked about professional development for over 30 years, but has also experienced probably about 60 panic attacks. And more than once, I've had that feeling of burnout, that lack of efficiency, that irritability with colleagues, that profound tiredness. And in fact, strangely enough, I think I'm just touching on the edge of burnout at this moment in this month, by just doing a bit too much frequency, intensity, and duration of activities. So let's just strip it right back to the word anxiety. Anxiety is like a worry about something. And we sometimes use that word, but more likely we're going to use the word stress. It seems a bit more user-friendly. But the worry or the stress is something that's either real, or we perceive it to happen, or it might happen. And they can wear us out. So when we're in that state of being anxious or stressed, our body produces chemicals like adrenaline, the fight or flight or freeze hormone. And that is assisted by cortisol, the stress hormone. Now, these chemicals, generally speaking, help us to perform better. But if we get too much produced too quickly and for too long a period, they could be detrimental not only to our performance from day to day, but our actual quality of life and our length of life. And in real terms, when we're anxious, our body is on alert too often, looking for threats. And if we live a life looking for threats all the time, and I'm not saying this is a conscious decision, this could be very much a subconscious thing on things that have happened to us in the past. The way we think about things in the present affects our future. So I'm not apportioning blame now. This could be really affect us when we're on alert all the time, producing chemicals that are going to ultimately wear us out and be less effective. I think, if I'm going to give you any tips, it's about having some self-awareness. And if you've not got that, or if you're struggling with that, then sharing your thoughts with somebody else who can then assist you, getting some support, being vulnerable with somebody else. Maybe that process in itself will be very helpful. Or it may be that we signpost then to a professional to get some support, either medication, talking therapies, a combination of that, something to share that load, that burden of what you're experiencing right now. And again, as I said, somebody experienced many, many panic attacks over a couple of years. It can be debilitating. And I've got every empathy with the people going through that now. But I want to switch attention into performance, because anxiety and stress go with performance. And one of my biggest principles is that performance should be not at the expense of our mental health and well-being. And sometimes, sadly, we see this in both amateur and professional sport. So what I really mean by this is that when we're getting stressed in sport and we're getting nervous, my first reaction, if I get in that situation, is to say to myself, this is an opportunity, not a threat. It's my chance to show people what I can do, whether that's on the pitch in the past, whether that's in exam halls, whether that's in a live meeting with 1,000 people as it was yesterday. I see that as an opportunity rather than a threat. I change my relationship with anxiety and stress to see it as an opportunity rather than a threat. That's the first thing that I do. And when we talk about performance, we talk about, sometimes people talk about a comfort zone, and then into a stretch zone, and then into a panic zone. And you get into the panic zone, these chemicals I've talked about before, adrenaline and cortisol, they've been produced in high amounts very quickly and last periods of time that are significant, that affect our livelihoods. So I don't want anybody to go into that crazy risk zone, with a crisis zone. I want us to stretch a little bit, come out of that comfortable zone to that stretch zone, and see if we can see life as that opportunity rather than that risk and that threat. What does that real mean to you in real terms? It is about pushing yourself a little bit, but not for too much frequency, intensity, and duration. And I'll say those again, that fit, frequency, intensity, and duration. If you keep pushing those buttons all the time, you'll get into that risk panic zone. So performance for me, in terms of anxiety and stress, is trying to enjoy it. And for me, I have a final statement I want to share with you. Some researchers on confidence, which is not being scared to say or do or think, they say that when you get confident, you enjoy doing something. Well, I'll take it a step further and I'll say, not only do I enjoy doing it, I need to do it to feel me. This is who I am. And that's what keeps me going. So whether stress and anxiety is something that's holding you back, debilitating, I'm with you on that. If it's to do with performance in life, embrace the challenge, see the opportunities, and show people what you can do. I'm Ross McWilliam. Thank you very much.